At the D23 Experiences panel, Josh D'Amaro said that they are already moving dirt for Cars Land and Villains Land. However, they seem to be indicating the Tropical Americas won't happen for several years. Sounds like somebody's fudging the numbers on these huge lands that only have 2 rides apiece in them. Interesting. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is classic Disney villain, Mr. VashSky. Vash, are you prepared?
I believe I am prepared. Do I get a song as part of my villain treatment here?
We're still working on that, but until that moment, for those of you who are not aware, the D23 Experiences panel happened on Saturday night, and we streamed it here on That Park Place. It was a great stream, despite some of the news that came out. There was some good, some bad, and lots of songs. That thing got delayed by like 45 minutes before they actually announced anything about the parks. But the 2 things that they did bring up that were coming to Walt Disney World, there wasn't actually a lot for it. One was Cars Land, and the other was Villains Land. Cars Land already exists over there at Disney's California Adventure. Sounds like it's going to be a quote-unquote different version of that coming to Walt Disney World. And then they also, at the end, they had a one more thing moment where they ended up talking about Villains Land. They had Corey Burton come in as the Magic Mirror. He wasn't actually the Magic Mirror. He did the voice of the Magic Mirror. That would be something, huh? And summoned Josh D'Amaro to fulfill his oath and bring in the Villains Land here. Vash, you have so many more details than I do because you are an expert. Which one of these do you want to tell people about first?
Well, let's go with the Cars one because I think Villains Land, we'll do it in the same manner that they put it because I think Villains Land is the more interesting one. Cars, though, seems to be the more fleshed out of the 2. We'll get into that discrepancy in a moment right there. But yes, Josh D'Amaro took the stage and was happy to announce that Cars would be coming to the Magic Kingdom. We had heard this for quite some time, actually, here on That Park Place. You already knew about this, but obviously this might have been some new news for the people actually attending D23. And if you'll note, they actually had multiple pieces of concept art that they actually provided for this. So we know that this has been, pretty well developed internally. You can see it takes its inspiration from, I think, a different side of the Cars universe, so not Radiator Springs, but it looks to me like almost Northern California. They did actually release a big Disney Parks blog post on this. And you'll also note that, a lot of people didn't actually know where this was going. And, we had our answer delivered 2 days after the event. Actually, 1 day after the expo had closed up shop. That's a very interesting timeline. And I think we noted that in our previous That Park Place coverage. But you can actually see that Parks blog post right here. And if we study this artwork, this is taking the place of Tom Sawyer's Island and Rivers of America. And off to the side right here is a little pathway that goes to what we believe to be the Villains Land. And the Villains Land has been in the works for quite some time. Actually, from I understand, almost 20 years. There have been several iterations of this. Actually, New Fantasyland, Jonas, was going to feature a villains concept. And if I'm not mistaken, the Shanghai boat ride concept, that technology that was used was first developed for the villains portion of that land. So this goes back a long, long ways here. It does seem that they've changed up a little bit. You can actually study the artwork, which I wouldn't generally recommend because this is Disney artwork, folks. This isn't Universal artwork. Universal artwork, we know that's pretty accurate, what you're going to get, what you're going to see. But Disney artwork, it has a way of changing over time.
Yeah, there's probably an entire video on the difference between how Disney handles these things and how Universal handles these things at this point.
Yes, I would agree. But I was able to get a very high-resolution version of this artwork. You can see a coaster featured here. You can also see Maleficent in dragon form featured here. And you can actually see that coaster going through what looks to be waterfalls in this. So very, very interesting. Josh D'Amaro says that it's going to feature 2 big attractions, is the way that he put it, or I think major attractions, and shopping, retail, dining, all of the above right here. And he's saying that he's taking the Disney Experiences concept to a new level via a new vision.
Yeah, he
So
called
this
it
is going to be
a fearless new vision where lion and hyena live together in harmony. They could have something. There's a chateau over there on the right hand side. I wouldn't be surprised if, when they put this all together, that this is a focus on character dining. Yes, that right there. There's some people walking. I wouldn't be surprised if that is a restaurant of some kind. Anyways, that's not a prediction. That's just a guess. We scoured through the video and we were able to see the entire panel. We have access to the entire panel now. And this is the one where I have so many more questions about what was said and why it was said. They specifically talked about how at Magic Kingdom, specifically Earth, is already starting to move. And then over at Animal Kingdom, that was talked about separately. So Tropical America's Land, where we know that they're already moving buildings and small buildings like trailers and things like that for Imagineering to have their little on-base headquarters there for the Tropical Americas project. That is already moving. We haven't seen a lot of that. We haven't heard reports of that for Villains Land or for Cars Land. I would say that the easier one would probably be Cars Land, since that is an extension of the existing, like Radiator Springs Racers, the topography of what would go there. That's not too far off from Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And the fact that Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is already currently scheduled for a retheme here. Has it already gone down yet, by the way?
Oh, I actually don't know if it's actually gone down for its refurbishment. It's supposed to be a very long one, though. This is supposed to be pretty involved. And if we note our Disney history, the Big Thunder retheme that occurred at Disneyland, I believe, was about 15 months. And that obviously added the projections and redid the track as well. That was a complete track replacement because, well, that dates back to 79.
Yeah. Now,
in Disney's case,
that would be what if I'm giving them the technicality here, that would be the thing that I'm assuming they're talking about of Earth already starting to move over there at Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, because this is all part of Beyond Big Thunder. It doesn't quite have the same ring to it as New Fantasyland.
I would agree. I believe BioReconstruct has also noted that they've started to clear some of the trees beyond here, so maybe that's possibly what he's referring to. I would say that there's going to be a necessary construction umbilicus to actually get resources to where Tom Sawyer's Island now sits. And the way I've heard it described, Jonas, we noted earlier in this video, actually, that there were several different pieces of concept art that were released for this Cars Land side of this Beyond Big Thunder project, right? But there was only one and very nondescript piece of concept art actually released for the Villains Land. And from what I understand, that's because this is not very developed at all. I'm actually hearing that this is also a phase 2 concept for the Beyond Big Thunder project as a whole. So yeah, people are very excited about that, and Josh Imaro might claim that all this is being worked on right now, but I'm not so convinced based on the information that we have here at that Park Place.
Yeah, and I think this is rushed. I think this is even though they have everything on the drawing board back there at Disney Imagineering, so they can pull up concept art and erase the dates that are attached to it and say that they have been working on this since 2019 or 2018 or 20. I'm making a joke about Tiana that's not landing here when I say this. Dark Universe, I think, is the reason that this is happening in the way that it is happening. When Epic Universe has been doing these amazing drops, getting people ready for what is coming in summer of 2025, I'm hearing some people saying spring break of 2025, which is before summer for those of you paying attention at home. Some people are maybe some travel agents and things like that. I don't know anything about the timeline being moved forward. We're not making an official rumor out of that. I just see so much of what is going on at Disney right now is in response to Epic Universe, even though they have claimed that they are not responding to Epic Universe. Disney has too much arrogance to say that they're responding to the people across the street. I think they need to treat them more like brothers in rivalry at this point. And I think that would be better for Disney's image to say, we're not going to do this. We are going to do this because it's very Disney to do this. Whereas what they seem to be doing, which is, oh, well, Universal does that, we're going to do that too. which is never a good way to do this. I'm also hearing about them doing Mardi Gras celebrations because of Tiana and because of how big Mardi Gras is at Universal. That's a long-standing rumor that I wouldn't be surprised to hear popping up again, if only Tiana were a more popular attraction. That being said, we want to throw this to our commenters here. Do you think that Cars Land and Villains Land are a response to Epic Universe, Dark Universe specifically? And do you think they're really telling the truth that the Earth is already moving, as in they have shovels in the ground already to try to construct these attractions, these massive lands? I say massive. Sounds like, I don't know. Everything they say sounds like mini lands. Galaxy's Edge is huge, but it's only got 2 attractions in it, so who knows? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like this video if you like this video, and consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.